Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Project Boost ATX. This is my buddy AD. He is a CS, which is a culinary specialist on our ship. He is actually one of my roommates, and he was my roommate previously. And he's actually going to talk about his rate, is what we call it, but it is his job in the Navy, what it is to be a culinary specialist, what he does, and what the likes and dislikes, just so y'all can get a good idea as to what the culinary specialist rate does in the Navy, and maybe something you want to do, maybe something you don't want to do. Maybe there's things that he says that kind of keeps you away. Maybe there's things that bring you guys in. But I'm gonna let him speak because he is definitely the specialist for culinary options. So here he goes.
Yes, sir. So the way how it's gonna work is, some people have questions about culinary specialists, but not all of them are gonna be answered by me because there are certain things that I can say and that I can say. So he's gonna ask me some questions. He's gonna be pretending like he's not in the Navy.
Yeah. So what's it like to be a culinary specialist? Like, what's it like to cook every day, all day?
So cooking is not that bad though. So when you come into the ship, when you're new, you graduate from A school, you are just the cook. So you're just cooking.
Mm-hmm.
So you have so-called 5-2 schedule. 5-2 schedule is you're cooking from the morning up to dinner. So there's 3 meals a day: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So we're gonna do it with your teammates in the galley. But when it comes to the point that you're ready to step up or be a petty or do a petty officer's job, then there will be some additional jobs for you or responsibility. For example, our PPOs, work center supervisor, galley supervisor. But yeah, for now, all you gotta worry about is you're just cooking for the people in the ship that works for you technically as well.
Gotcha. All right, cool. So remember, I'm not in the Navy, all right, guys? So how many people do you cook for while we're in port?
So LHA-6 USS America is a amphibious ship. That's what they said.
Amphibious assault ship, yeah.
During in port, technically it's for wardroom it's 50 or above, but the main galley we fed 100 or more in port. So that's during whenever the ship is in the pier or parked in the pier.
So would you say that when you're in port, it's a little less hectic than when out at sea?
Yes.
So how many people would you say you feed out at sea? A meal, I should say.
So at the sea, together with the Navy and the Marines, we feed approximately 1,000 of people in the main galley. So the main galley, right? You're gonna see a lot of lines, both sides, port side and starboard side, long lines in the main galley. But in the wardroom, it's gonna be 500 or less.
Gotcha. So what would you say is the hardest part about being a culinary specialist out at sea? I know that you just said you feed 1,000 people. Or not say the hardest part. What does it take to actually be effective and efficient as a CS in when we're out at sea on deployment?
I like the question. So be effective as a CS. So if you do give a fuck about your job, especially underway, right? That means you're working with a team. You just don't work. You just don't stand there and say, "Oh, I'm just here to do my job." Now, I heard a lot of people say that in the Navy. But if you do give about your job, you're gonna make your teamwork work with you. You're gonna lead them even though you're not a leader. That's what you call initiation. So you gotta have some initiation. You gotta optimize what's going on. You gotta back up a little bit. Hey, what's going on right now? Are we running out of food? Do we have everything ready before we start the meal? So stuff like that. You gotta be optimistic and ready all the time before just the meal goes.
So would you say when they're constantly asking you questions or stepping back a little bit, they're helping you with that leadership role to take over for them whenever they end up leaving?
Yeah. What if they're sick at that day?
Yeah,
And
I got you.
who's gonna do their job? Right?
Yeah, I
Or
got
something
you.
happened to them.
So some people might be wondering because they don't know the Navy lingo. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
What's the difference between the mess decks and the galley?
Mess decks and galley. Alright, the galley is technically the kitchen. This is the space where we cook. That's the galley. The mess deck, this is the space where we all eat. All officers or enlisted are eating in the mess deck. So you can find everything you want in mess deck, like fruits, grab and goes, like snacks, stuff like that. But you can't find raw foods and fresh vegetables in mess deck. They're all in the galley or main kitchen.
Yeah, so as he said, the grab and go. So like, especially out on deployment, even while we're in port, you have granola bars, you have like oranges, apples, dragon fruit.
Dragon fruit. Yeah.
Yeah, so that will be out in the mess decks, and it's just in an area where we can just grab and go because obviously we're busy in our jobs. So it's good to help when you're in port and out at sea because sometimes you don't have that time to be like, hey, just eat and relax. Sometimes you're just like, hey, I got a lot of work to do. I'm just gonna grab something, go, grab and go. Kind of makes sense, right? Two last questions I got for you is, I guess technically three. First one is, what is some pros about being a CS?
Some pros.
Yeah.
What you mean, like pro tips?
So like, what are things that you enjoy? Like, what would you recommend? What do you think that you enjoy being as a CS? Like, do you learn a lot? Like, cooking wise, you learn a lot of different things to cook. Like, what would you say are some good things that you like about being a CS?
About being a CS. So there's two parts. We have underway and import schedule. So I'm just gonna talk about import schedule first.
Sure, go ahead, man.
So import schedule is pretty slow. So you come in the galley at 04:30 or 04 if you want to be earlier than that, one step ahead of game. And you'll end up working at 17:30 plus the cleaning time, which is will take 30 minutes or more. It depends on how fast you are working and cleaning as a team. So 04:30 to 17:30, it sounds bad because it's more than 12 hours, right? Right.
Yeah, it is.
It's 13 hours and more. But you're not really cooking for a lot of people, so it's pretty slow. You got enough time for yourself, for your personal appointments to plan up while you are in the galley. So that's the import schedule. But underway schedule is different. You are not gonna be in the galley or in the kitchen at 04:30. You are gonna be in the kitchen 07:30 or 07, and you'll end up working 07 as well. As long as kitchen's good to go, it's all clean, then they'll let you go 07. I mean, what's 07 in PM?
19.
1900, yeah, 1900.
So what are some cons? What are some things that you dislike about being a CS? Just give people an idea as to, things that you have seen that you don't personally might dislike, but things that are definitely not gonna make you not want to be a CS. Just things that you just kind of dislike that you don't think are efficient or whatever.
Got you. Let's talk about qualifications. So qualifications, as a CS, for me it's not hard, especially underway. So instead of having more sleep underway because you're working only for 12 hours, but when it comes to qualifications, the leadership is going to push you in quals. So if you need to do these quals, for example, ISWAS or the pin, surface pin, that means you're going to have to sacrifice your time instead of sleeping right after work.
I gotcha.
It's not that I don't like it, but it's gonna happen to each one of us.
Yeah, so Navy-wide, just everybody, we all have to focus on our qualifications. And it is definitely hard because you gotta... The biggest thing with being in the Navy, especially being a CS, because their hours are crazy, but all jobs in general, you have to find the time and make the time to get those qualifications and kind of stand out around everybody. Because everyone's going to be going for those quals, but not everybody is going to meet those quals the same pace that you are. Some people are different. Some people struggle more, but some people are just hard charging or just able to knock everything out a lot easier because some people are just more focused. Some people have more drive, but also some people are different parts of their lives where it's easier for them. Some people are just more to themselves and it's not as easy. But that is a good point. Quals is very important for us while we're in the Navy, and it's definitely something that takes a lot of time and energy with whatever rate you are. But CS is for sure. They got the hours that makes it really difficult for sure. Is there anything that you would say to them, everybody that's watching, that might encourage them to want to be a CS? This is kind of like the last question I want to ask is like, if they were to, like, what would you say to help them become a CS, to be someone that could possibly be by your side one day in the galley, working there? What would be something that you do to encourage them to like help them charge on? Maybe not even just as a CS, but just in the military in general. What would you think would be a good words of encouragement to help them proceed throughout whatever challenges they face?
All right. So this is the thing. So civilian it doesn't matter how much experience do you have out there. So when you're in the Navy, just be humble. Let the first classes or second classes or any supervisors are higher than you, right? Let them do their job. So listen to them. Always listen and have a plan for yourself before you execute your job. So you won't up, right? Because I a lot of times.
Hey,
that's me.
We all mess up, man. It's all good. But I want to say thanks for watching, guys. CS3, right? You're CS3 now?
Hopefully.
CS3 soon. Hopefully I'll be LS3 soon. But, if you guys have any other questions, feel free to leave questions down in the comments. I'll be more than happy to ask him questions, or maybe we can come out with another video of him answering those questions for you. Obviously, there's certain details we can't get into. But thanks for your time, for watching. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.
Love you.